This is Matthew Cratter from Trade University, and today I want to answer the question, is XRP, the cryptocurrency, overvalued? Even if you don't agree with my conclusions, you may find it helpful to see how I approach a question like this. So the current market cap of XRP is approximately 63 billion. This is because the circulating supply is less than half of what has been created. The circulating supply is about 45.4 billion. There's another 55 billion that is being held in escrow by Ripple Labs, which is the parent company that created this cryptocurrency. It's not a decentralized cryptocurrency. It's the product of a corporation. So we have this huge overhang that's being held in escrow at the corporate level. When you take into account all 100 billion XRP, the fully diluted market cap, if all those coins were brought online and traded, would be approximately 139 billion. This keeps moving around, but you'll see what I used 137 billion for this calculation. It actually makes it even worse if it's worth 138 billion. So XRP has a market cap of 138 billion when you count everything, all 100 billion XRP. As we said, Ripple still has about 54.5 billion XRP in escrow. At current prices, that's worth roughly, this has moved around a little bit in the last 5 minutes, but it's worth roughly 77 billion dollars. That is sitting on the balance sheet of Ripple Labs. And so it'd be worth that much if you could sell it all at current market prices. XRP is not that liquid. As a result, this is overstating the value of it. That being said, the really weird thing is if you're an accredited investor, you have access to various services where you can look up the approximate price of privately traded shares. I'm not supposed to share this information, so I'm not going to share the websites that I'm getting this from, but you can sort of verify this online if you know how to do searches. Ripple Labs, the parent company, it's a privately traded company. It's not publicly traded. It's currently being valued by investors at about $2 to $3 billion in the private market. This is what you can buy or sell shares for. It's a kind of wide bid-ask spread, as you often get in the private market. But this is what the parent company is being valued at. Now, the really weird thing is that if a company is holding something that's worth 76 billion on its balance sheet, you would think that it would be valued at more than 2 or 3 billion. That's a very steep discount. And it's also down quite a bit from the last time they raised money, which was December 2019, when the company was valued at roughly 10 billion. This is when Ripple Labs was valued at 10 billion. In August of 2020, I made a video talking about a similar thing. And at that point, the valuation of Ripple Labs was at 6 billion. And then today it's at 2 or 3 billion, as we said. This is a very strange thing to see because obviously XRP has gone up quite a bit since December 2019, and yet we have the parent company being valued at declining valuation. So it's gone from 10 billion to 6 billion, now to 2 or 3 billion. Now this most recent drop by 50% in the valuation has really happened as a result of the SEC lawsuit against Ripple. So if we do the math, Ripple's trading at a 96% discount to an asset that's held on its balance sheet, to the XRP that's held on its balance sheet. If XRP had a future, Ripple, the company, maybe it wouldn't be valued quite at 76 billion, but it'd be valued at some reasonable discount to that, to take into account the illiquidity of XRP, etc. And so if XRP did have a future and it was holding that much, if Ripple Labs had a future and it was holding that much XRP on its balance sheet, and if assuming XRP had a future, Ripple, the parent company, really should be valued somewhere between, call it 50 billion and 76 billion in the private markets. Again, it's only being valued at 2 to 3 billion. So we have this weird dichotomy where the privately traded shares, which are traded by accredited investors, you have to have a high net worth exclusive of your house or very high income to qualify for this. I believe it's currently 1.5 million. I can't remember exactly. But these are accredited investors institutional investors who are obviously usually quite sophisticated, especially if they're buying and selling privately traded shares. You have these high net worth, sophisticated people valuing Ripple Labs at 2 to 3 billion, and then you have the really unsophisticated, naive retail investors, the XRP army. And if you follow their comments on my various videos, you can see that this is not a group that's very fond of doing research. They're not a very sophisticated group. And the sad thing is that they're very naive retail investors who are being dumped on or have been dumped on by executives at Ripple. Jed McCaleb is the primary one. He's no longer working there, but he continues to dump his XRP on people who are dumb enough to buy it. The CEO and the various executive team have been selling XRP as fast as they can as well. They may have had to slow it down because of the SEC lawsuit. So you have to ask yourself, who do you think is right? These naive investors who are buying XRP, or the private market, which is valuing Ripple at almost nothing considering what's on its balance sheet? Who do you think is right? The sophisticated high net worth and institutional investors, or the XRP army? You can see the kind of typical comments I get. I'm sure I'll get them for this video too. Stop lying, XRP is not a scam, and this idiot is a shell. They never respond to the arguments, which is unfortunate. I don't think they spend a lot of time thinking about these things. And they've been fortunate in that XRP has been going up over the last few months. So this has been provided a cover for a lack of research and a lack of rational thought. There's someone else, though, who says that Ripple Labs is an evil actor, as I said, and that, of course, is the SEC, which is suing the company for conducting an unregistered securities offering. For the past 5-6 years, Ripple Labs has been dumping XRP. This is the main way that the company makes money, and you can't do this. You can't do this with a security without registering it with the SEC. Bitcoin's not a security. It's been deemed to be not a security by the SEC. It's completely decentralized, completely unlike XRP, which was created by a parent company to fund itself and to make its founders rich. It doesn't really serve any purpose. It's not being used on any scale. But unfortunately, it has quite a following among people who don't understand the differences between XRP and Bitcoin, how centralization and decentralization actually works, and they don't realize that this really is an example of an unregistered securities offering, and this could end up some of the executives could end up paying very, very high fines, or even end up in jail, which is where they belong, because they've become billionaires on the backs of naive retail investors. So I really see two outcomes here. One, the first outcome is the SEC wins the lawsuit. In this case, Ripple, basically the valuation of the company goes to zero, and XRP itself trends to zero. It gets put out of business completely. The other alternative is the SEC somehow manages to screw up such an easy lawsuit. This is the government we're talking about, not the most competent people always. And in this case, Ripple will just keep selling the massive amount of escrow, the massive amount of XRP that they're holding in escrow, that other 55 billion XRP. And so you really have this overhang. If the current market cap is, what did we say, roughly 137 billion, you have an overhang of 76 billion that will continue to be sold unless the SEC puts a stop to this. This is a giant overhang, and what it means is it puts a permanent cap on the price. This is one reason that XRP is still down. I think it peaked around $3 a few years ago. It's still trading down, while Ethereum, Bitcoin, most other cryptocurrencies are actually hitting new all-time highs. Ripple can't even seem to get back to its new all-time highs, and this is of course because of Ripple selling and insider selling. This really contrasts if you think about Bitcoin. So let's go back and look at XRP again. We have the actual market cap of 62, 63 billion, the fully diluted market cap of 137 billion, 138 billion. The difference is that for Bitcoin, most of the Bitcoin has already been mined. About 18.7 million Bitcoin have been mined out of the 21 million. So there's not this overhang in the same way that you have the overhang of XRP at Ripple. These Bitcoin are being hodled, they're being traded, they're circulating, and the market is pricing them accordingly. What's happening with XRP is very similar to what you get in an IPO situation, where for the first, call it for the first 6 months, the insiders are not allowed to sell any shares. And then as soon as their shares are unlocked, well, what I should say is during those 6 months when the insiders can't sell, at the IPO, you basically just issue a small fraction. And so the float of shares is much smaller than the total shares outstanding. And this allows the stock to really pump in the first 6 months. And then it will usually come back to earth if it's overvalued when those shares, those insider shares, are unlocked 180 days after the IPO. This is something that's very similar, where you have this huge overhang of almost like insider shares. And if the SEC is right, these are unregistered securities. They're very, very much like shares. And so Bitcoin's very different. You have everything. You have all this Bitcoin already in circulation. It's a free market. Anyone can buy and sell it. You could, people often say that the whales are just going to dump on everyone and that it's a scam. This is not how it works. The old whales are often replaced by new whales, etc. But the point is that this is a free market without an overhang, and it's currently trading above $60,000 once again. And by contrast, XRP is very centralized. As we said, it's issued by a corporation. It's very scammy. The people involved are scumbags. And what's actually being used by banks, XRP Army is always saying that XRP is going to be the new reserve settlement layer, or it's going to replace SWIFT, or it's going to replace FedWire, etc. in the new financial order. What's actually going to replace those things are central bank digital currencies, which we've talked about a couple days ago, as well as what's being used now, USD stablecoins. And this is what's actually being used. The use case for XRP is very, very small, which is why, as I've talked about in previous videos, they actually have to bribe their partners by giving them free XRP to use their software. And they also give away XRP to charitable foundations. I think they did it for Ellen DeGeneres, so they can get publicity. So they basically, Ripple's a company that printed up their own private money, and now they get to use it to pretend that they're a going concern. Whereas the actual use case and the number of banks, there are these pilot programs, which I'm sure people will mention in the comments below, but there's no widespread use case or usage of XRP in the same way that Bitcoin is being used. I often hear the XRP Army say that XRP is going to be used for international remittances. This is just not what's happening. No one's using it for that. Bitcoin is actually the one that's being used of all the cryptocurrencies, especially USD stablecoins to an extent. But what's really exciting, what's coming onto Bitcoin, is this company Jack Mallers' Strike, which allows you to send money, to send fiat money anywhere in the world for free instantly. And so what happens is your US dollars will be converted to Bitcoin instantly. They'll be sent over the Lightning Network, and then they'll end up, let's say they end up in some country in Central America where your family is, your extended family. This is what's actually being used for international remittances. And once that Bitcoin ends up in that Central American or South American country, it's instantly converted to the local fiat. So this all happens behind the scenes. Jack Mallers, really interesting guy. I'd encourage you to check out Strike, which is the app that allows you to do this. And if you want to dig a little bit deeper, I talk about Strike and the Lightning Network in this video. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.